The 11th Hour, Episode 9. The Standard of Steel. What if Hitler unified the Panzer arsenal? In the real history of the Second World War, the German Wehrmacht was a victim of its own engineering genius. While the Allies focused on the mass production of good-enough tanks like the T-34 and the M4 Sherman, Germany pursued a path of artisan excellence. By 1944, the German arsenal was a chaotic patchwork of over a dozen major armored fighting vehicle platforms, each requiring unique spare parts, specialized crews, and dedicated production lines. This fragmentation was a logistical nightmare that ultimately strangled the Panzerwaffe. But imagine a timeline where Adolf Hitler, fueled by the shock of encountering the T-34 in 1941, made a radical decision. Instead of ordering the overly complex Panther and the resource-heavy Tiger, he looked at a proposal from the Waffenprüfamt 6, the Entwicklung series. In this reality, the decree was issued in early 1942. Standardize or die. The goal was simple: replace the entire mess of Panzer III, I-4, Tigers and Stugs with a single family of vehicles that shared engines, transmissions and wheels. This was the E-Series. The backbone of this new force was built on a philosophy of disposable excellence. Hitler, for once listening to his production czar Albert Speer, accepted a hard truth. The average life of a tank on the battlefield was less than 6 months. Why build a transmission designed to last 10 years when the vehicle would be a burnt-out shell in 10 weeks? Tolerances were loosened, and expensive alloys were replaced with more common steels. This didn't mean the tanks were bad. It meant they were built for the reality of war, not for a museum. By the spring of 1943, the first family of steel rolled off the lines. The E-10 and E-25 replaced the various Stugs and Hetzers, providing a low-profile, highly mobile tank destroyer platform. The E-50, the standard Panzer, became the new face of the German army, combining the armor of a Tiger with the mobility of a Panther, but with half the maintenance hours. For the heavy lifting, the E-75 offered a simplified successor to the Tiger II, sharing the same suspension and engine as its smaller E-50 sibling. The first true test of this standardization came in July 1943, the Battle of Kursk. Historically, Operation Citadel was delayed for months as engineers struggled with the mechanical failures of the brand-new Panther. In our timeline, the Panzerwaffe arrived at Kursk not with a handful of unreliable prototypes, but with 2,000 battle-ready E-50s and E-25s. The swarm of the E-Series didn't just break the Soviet lines, it maintained its momentum. When a tank broke down, a simple swap of a standardized wheel or a universal transmission had it back in the fight within hours. By December 1943, German AFV production had already reached the levels historically seen in late 1944, over 1,800 vehicles a month. But they didn't stop there. With factories simplified and production streamlined, the output continued to climb. When the Allies landed in Normandy in June 1944, they didn't face a fragmented defense of old Panzer IVs and rare Tigers. They drove into a wall of thousands of standardized E-Series vehicles. Every German unit had the same capability. Every supply truck carried the same parts. The result on the battlefield was a logistical landslide. The Soviet Union, unable to outproduce the new German efficiency, saw their counteroffensive stalled by an endless column of German steel. In the West, the sheer weight of numbers forced the Allies back into a defensive posture. The 11th hour was not just a delay, it was a reversal. By choosing to build for the battlefield rather than the blueprint, Germany had created a steel wall that would not break. The 11th hour had passed.